what attracted you to EON, how you've been using it, and then how you've integrated this into your practice. And from there, just free flow. And
Okay. With that introduction, I don't know. So that's quite an introduction. Thank you, Russ. And I'm a huge fan of yours as well. And Team Silfirm, Team Eon, and I do love EmSculpt. And it has done very, very well for us. We are number one in Florida and number two on the East Coast, and we're competing against franchises when they do that. Unlike Eon, where it's like you get ranked by location, which is much, much more fair. Okay, so we do a lot of EmSculpt, like 6 times more than the average practice in Florida. We have a membership model which we have rolled the EON into. And I know a lot of people are doing membership models now in med spas all around the country. We are with the Repeat MD app. And I know there are thousands of practices that are part of that. So the first thing I would do is follow Repeat MD and start looking at all the practices that are following them and that they're following, because the membership model, I think, works very, very well with EON. I know that with the new pricing model that Russ shared with me, you guys are lowering the consumables based on usage. So the more they use, the lower the consumables get. And that feeds right into the membership model. What we did, we were doing a lot of EmSculpt, but we were turning away a lot of people who have copper IUDs, metal in their hips, hernias, that recent surgeries on their breast, so they couldn't, do the EmSculpt. But those people weren't contraindicated for EON. So when Mara came to us and started talking, I had heard about EON, but not a lot. But when Mara came to us, the light bulb went off, and I'm like, I've got a whole list of people that we've turned away over the last 3 years that we can call up and say, hey, we have something for you. We have Cool Sculpting, hate Cool Sculpting. We have the original Cool Sculpting, so messy, so time consuming, so hard to train someone. What I love about the EON, again, as I'm listening to, Mara tell me about the device, I'm thinking, so easy to train someone and to have them do this safely. If someone quits, I'm not going to have to spend, like a week or 2 weeks training and practicing, et cetera, et cetera. You can really get someone up and running pretty quickly to replace an employee. So makes it super easy to manage. One of the things that we decided to do, and I know I'm a little like a squirrel because I'm trying to make notes and trying to keep it organized, but I'm sorry in advance if I'm going off on little tangents, but I hope I answer everything by the time I'm done. We, when we decided to do the EON and we, started creating social media and everything before we even had it delivered, everything was ready to go. And we started telling everybody and calling everybody while we were waiting for it to be delivered, so that when it came, we did staff first and then hit the ground running, and, started making money right out of the bat and, right out of the box. It was awesome. And then what we did was anytime someone came in, we still said we do Cool Sculpting. If someone calls us, we're like, yeah, we do Cool Sculpting, come on in. And then we're like, yeah, no, this is better. So anyone who's got the original Cool Sculpting device, they've long ago paid for it, I would hit them up too. The people who have the Elite are probably still making payments on it. It's going to be a little bit harder sale. But no more gel, no more straps. It's so much more affordable to do for the patient, so much easier and better results. Now, with that said, patient selection is critical. This isn't for someone who's ridiculously skinny and they bend over and they're like, look, there's a little wrinkle. They're not going to see a difference. In my opinion, they're not going to be happy. If they have like a discreet brow roll, a discreet little mommy pooch, yes, perfect. If they are super big, they're someone who, even though you tell them, oh, you would need to do this 4 or 5 times, they're not going to have the money for that. It's the same like cool sculpting. It's not a weight loss substitute. It isn't for those people, and you're just asking for trouble. So it is for the people close to their ideal weight, 10, 15 pounds, and realistic expectations. They're, going to the gym here and there, maybe a little sedentary here and there, and have realistic expectations, maybe need to do it once or twice. That's going to give you a happy outcome and a happy patient. And I had that, in mind doing this. I'm like, 25% on someone who's got next to no fat, they're not going to see it. And on someone who's really obese, they're not going to see it either. And they're not going to have the money. So we tell our patient concierges, our sales staff, I know that you have an inherent conflict of interest because you want to make the commission. But if you buy me a problem, you're going to lose your commission and then some, because it's a great device for the right people. You could do the back of the arms. I mean, I love it for bra rolls. The only thing it can't do is the double chin. That's the only thing cool sculpting can do that this can't. And there's Kybella for that. So who needs it? So what we do is we have people lay on the table and try it for free if the machine's available. Because I don't know if you still do this, but for us, we were told like the first 8 minutes or whatever is free. And a lot of people are like, oh, this is great. Oh, this doesn't hurt. Can I just do it now? And we're like, yep, do it now. So they've already filled out their consent form. We've already taken a quick, series of pictures when we're doing the consult. And then, we evaluate them. We tell them how much it is while they're doing that, 5 to 7 minute trial. And then they're like, yeah, it only takes an hour to do those 2 segments. Yeah, let's do it. And that's another side note. Don't tell people you can do 3 segments in an hour. A segment is really 20 minutes of laser time and 10 minutes of prep on, making sure they're propped up correctly, that they're as close to the laser as possible so they're comfortable and they're getting that cool air on top. You don't want to be cutting corners where that's concerned. So like if someone needs 3 on their stomach, we allow an hour and a half. And then when we're selling packages for it, a lot of times, if they are a little, pudgier, we tell them, we're going to give you a free retreat next month. And that helps our numbers stay up. And it makes sure that, when they come in we like week 7. 6 is a little soon, 8's a little far. Week 7 seems to be the sweet spot for us, so that we can keep holding their hand. And then we give them a complimentary retreat since the consumable price is so low. And then we bundle it with our EmSculpt sales. So what we'll do is we'll say, okay, you're buying a package of 3 EmSculpt for $2,600. We're going to throw in 1 cycle of EON. Now, almost everybody can take 1 cycle on their lower pooch, and, if they want more, great, we can give you an upcharge for that. So these are the ways that we are selling it. Another thing, we sell the silver. We have found that the sweet spot for us with our lidocaine is 45 minutes to an hour. Well, you know what? If you'd like to do a segment of EON on your lower belly while you're laying there with lidocaine, we can give you a special price for that. So we are trying to introduce the skincare people to the body sculpting, and the body sculpting people to the skincare all the time. For years, like we couldn't get them to cross over that much. Like people came in just to do their Botox, just to do their facials, just to do their body sculpting, and now we're trying to bundle something from the other areas to get them to spend all their money with us. Okay, so I went over best candidates. It does work excellent on the right people, and bundling it, ease of use, patient selection. We started in 2005. We really got into body sculpting when we bought the Venus Freeze back in 2011. We were the first ones to bring that to Miami-Dade County, and we did great with it. But it isn't permanent fat reduction. We got the cool sculpting like 2015, and we did very well with it. And then we really got into the body sculpting with EmSculpt in 2019. with the classic, and then we upgraded to the Neo in 2020. And then, we got the M-tone. So now we have a couple other things like the sauna. I know a lot of practices don't have space for that, but we encourage people to do additional things after an EmSculpt, after an EON, after an M-tone. We have them go on the vibration plate as a minimum. You can get it for $300 on Amazon because it's burning calories, and it's getting them into the mindset of, I need movement. Movement is medicine. So we tell the EON people, the EmSculpt people, we have 2 little mini power plates. Go on them whenever you want. You're in the area, hop in and do it for 10 minutes, get some extra movement. And some people have bought them for their homes so that they can exercise with zero impact. We also have other things like the infrared rollers and the recumbent bike. And we're adding the PNOE metabolic testing so we can do meal plans with a registered dietitian and metabolic analysis so people can see their starting point. And of course, we have an InBody 570 to keep track of their weights, measurements, pictures, critical. And we, tell people like we are a body sculpting center. It's Miami, like people are so vain down here, it's ridiculous. And, we want people to be happy. We don't, want unhappy patients. So if we need to retreat someone, we're going to retreat them. If we need to, give them some free saunas or some free rollers to help them, do their part. But we have a big conversation. Consultations are critical in the body sculpting space. We have a big conversation about alcohol. And again, we're in Miami, people have to party. But if your liver is polluted, trying to take care of those toxins from the alcohol, you are going to have a really hard time having your liver process, what it needs to for the fat. We give everybody an elastin transform. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about that. That accelerates the rate at which the fat is eliminated from the body from EmSculpt, Kybella, Cool Sculpting, and EON, where there is a destruction to the fat cell, and they will eliminate